Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big baby JTV. Start this off with a like, man. Start this off with a like and especially a subscribe, man. Give me a sub, man. Give your boy a sub, man. I'm going to give you 2 seconds. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's get into it, man. Jeannie Mai, right? From the show The Real, right? Wife of legendary rapper, you know what I mean, Jeezy. She was on Shan Boodram's YouTube channel, right? So Shan Boodram is a sexologist, also relationship type coach. She's basically a dating coach, right? So Jeannie Ma was on that the show with Shan Boodram, right? And she admitted that she had to low key submit to Jeezy and for them to have a successful relationship and now a marriage, right? To the point where Jeannie Mai decided to have a child with Jeezy, right? At the age of, I believe, 41 or 42, right? So it's called like a geriatric pregnancy, right? So she's a little bit older. She's out of that, window where it's the best time to have a baby. But she decided to have it with Jeezy as opposed to her ex-husband, right? Now, why am I talking about this? Why is this interesting, right? We've come in a society these days, right, where being traditional is looked at as terrible, right? Where there's always this term of toxic masculinity, these buzzwords of, the patriarchy, all these things. I'm not saying those things are not real. They are real, you know what I'm saying? And it makes sense to combat against it, right? But we've gotten to a point in society where traditionalism, right? Where a man leading, you know what I'm saying, and a woman being a partner, not necessarily being a rag to walk on, you know what I'm saying, or just trash really on the ground. No, women are not that, no. But what I noticed in this interview with Shan Boodram and Jeannie Mai is that basically Jeannie Mai is saying that Jeezy, right, brought out her femininity, right? Jeezy challenged her. Jeezy checked her. Jeezy was a quote-unquote traditional man. According to this generation, you know what I'm saying, 2021, he would be considered toxic masculinity. So here's the point of this video, man. If y'all hear people saying traditionalism, you know what I'm saying, the man leading the house is quote-unquote toxic, tell them to buzz off, bro. Tell them to buzz off, bro. Let me tell you something. Just because somebody wants to be traditional doesn't make them toxic or evil or wrong or need for cancellation, right? And a lot of people these days look at quote-unquote submitting to a man as something negative, as something misogynistic, as something wrong. Okay. Well, how about these egalitarian relationships, quote unquote? How are they turning out? Why are we in a generation of the highest divorce rate? Why are we in a society where everybody cheats on everybody? You know why? Because the modern aspects of relationships these days are goofy, are extremely goofy. That's why you have channels like the Kevin Samuels of the world, right? You have that because there's been such a rush away from traditionalism that it's literally ruining people's lives and destroying families. Let me give you an example. There's this femininity dating coach called April Mason, right? She had been doing it professionally, that job, right, for almost 20 years. She's been in the game, right? She's from Atlanta, right? And her job usually is to help most of her clients, which are black women, to work on, you know what I'm saying, femininity and finding a husband, right? So matchmaking, right? If you know anything about ATL, there's almost a borderline crisis of single, successful black women, right? And I'm saying Jeannie Mai is almost inside that realm, or she was, right? Where she was so focused on career first that she not almost, but she made it very clear she doesn't want to do the traditional aspect. She doesn't want to have kids She was, very egalitarian, you know what I'm saying, with her ex-husband, right? But when she met a super traditional, almost toxic man, as some people would say, called Jeezy, right? One of the realest niggas in the rap game ever, you know what I mean? She went to a more traditional role. She was ready to quote unquote submit, and she was ready to have a child with this man. Let me tell y'all something, man. This is exactly why April Mason quit doing this dating service for black women, because a lot of her clients were not like Jeannie Mai. They were not interested in quote unquote submitting to a man. They were interested in being arrogant and entitled and going by their own way, right? Which was failing and is currently failing, man. Let me tell you something that's kind of sad, bro. Really sad, because I love black women. Black women are usually the demographic that barely gets married, right? The most single, the most divorced. It's messed up, man. And I absolutely hate it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of beautiful, amazing black women out here that ain't getting chose because of sometimes not willing to be traditional with a man. You know what I mean? And Jeannie Mai, in this situation with her interview with Shannon Boodram, she was willing with Jeezy. And now they're happily married, preparing for their first child. I'm not saying that traditionalism is for everybody. Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Some relationships, the woman is leading and that works well for them. Hey, it is what it is. But personally, as somebody who's more on the traditional side, I believe that the man should lead. And what we're seeing with Jeannie Mai and a few other, quote unquote modern women, is they're realizing that there's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. Just because something is new doesn't mean it's better. Just because the modern way of doing things is new doesn't mean it's better. Maybe we should go back a little bit to traditionalism. You know what I'm saying? The man leading the household, the woman following, submitting. There is also power in submission, and that's a common misconception a lot of people have. But I want to hear what y'all think, man. What y'all think of the Jeannie Mai interview with Shannon Boodram, man? Do you think that she decided to become traditional for him? Did he bring out a certain level of femininity in her? Or was she always having this and it wasn't coming out? You know what I mean? Anyways, man, let me know what y'all think, man, in the comments below. Like, comment, sub. Big Baby JTV, and I'm out, bro.